Have you ever felt a strange pull in your mind? A kind of mental static? It's that uncomfortable feeling you get when you hold two contradictory ideas at the same time. Or when your actions don't line up with your beliefs. That, my friends, is cognitive dissonance. It's a fundamental force in the universe of your mind, as powerful as gravity is to the planets. Imagine you believe strongly in protecting the environment. You see yourself as an eco-warrior. But then you find yourself driving a gas-guzzling car every day because it's convenient. That little twinge of discomfort, that mental itch you can't quite scratch. That's your brain flagging a conflict. It's your internal consistency monitor flashing a warning light. Think of your mind as a beautiful, intricate cosmic web. Each belief is a star, and each action is a planet orbiting that star. Everything is supposed to be in harmony, held together by the gravity of your personal values. Cognitive dissonance is like a rogue asteroid crashing into this delicate system. It introduces chaos. Your brain, the master astronomer, will do almost anything to restore order. This mental friction isn't a sign of weakness, it's a sign of being human. Where did we get this map of the mind? This idea didn't just appear out of the cosmic ether. It was meticulously charted by a social psychologist named Leon Festinger back in the 1950s. Festinger was like the Kepler of psychology, observing the strange orbits of human behavior and trying to deduce the laws that govern them. He proposed that we have a deep, innate need for our internal world, our thoughts, beliefs, and attitudes, to be consistent. He called this state consonance. When this harmony is disrupted by conflicting information or actions, we fall into a state of dissonance, and this state is psychologically uncomfortable, motivating us to reduce it. Festinger's theory wasn't just a thought experiment, it was born from observation. He and his colleagues studied a fascinating real-world case involving a UFO cult that predicted the end of the world. They wanted to see what would happen when the deeply held belief of the cult members collided with the hard, cold reality that the world did not, in fact, end. What they observed was a masterclass in the power of the human mind to bend reality to preserve its convictions. It was this powerful observation that helped solidify the theory of cognitive dissonance into a cornerstone of modern psychology, a tool to understand everything from consumer behavior to political polarization. This isn't just a modern phenomenon. The ancients understood this mental friction, even if they didn't have a scientific name for it. They captured it in their stories. Consider one of Aesop's fables, The Fox and the Grapes. A fox sees a beautiful, juicy bunch of grapes hanging high on a vine. He wants them. He believes they will be delicious and refreshing. He leaps, he jumps, he scrambles, but he just can't reach them. His actions are in direct conflict with his desire. I want those grapes, and I cannot have those grapes. This is uncomfortable. Instead, he changes his belief about the grapes themselves. The fox looks up at the grapes one last time and declares, "Oh, they're probably sour anyway." And with that, the dissonance vanishes. The conflict is resolved. We devalue the thing we can't have, a defense mechanism that turns failure into wisdom. Didn't get the job you desperately wanted? I probably would have hated the company culture anyway. Rejected by someone you had a crush on? They weren't really my type upon closer reflection. Let's journey forward in time to the heart of the Roman Republic. Consider the monumental figure of Marcus Junius Brutus. He believed in the Roman Republic. He believed in its institutions. He believed in the rule of law. He saw himself as a patriot, a defender of liberty against tyranny. And, on a deeply personal level, he loved Julius Caesar, mentor, friend, father figure. These two cognitions coexisted. I love and respect Caesar, and I am a defender of the Republic. For a time, these beliefs were in harmony. But then, Caesar amassed power, crossed the Rubicon, and declared himself dictator for life. He began to dismantle the institutions Brutus held sacred. Suddenly, Brutus's internal universe was thrown into chaos. His two core beliefs were now in violent opposition. My friend Caesar is destroying the republic I love. How can you be loyal to both a man and the principles that man is violating? A conflict that tore at the fabric of his identity. He had to choose. He could not change his belief about the republic. So he changed his belief about Caesar. From great leader to cancerous threat, the assassination became, in their minds, not betrayal, but the ultimate act of patriotism. Not that I loved Caesar less, but that I loved Rome more. He articulated a new, consistent narrative to justify a horrifying act, to remain the hero of his own story. The weight of that choice was a psychic gravity he could not escape. Let's travel to the ancient land of Phrygia, with one of history's most ambitious figures, Alexander the Great. As a young conqueror, Alexander arrived in Gordium, presented with the legendary Gordian knot. An oracle had prophesied, "Whoever unties it will rule all of Asia." The path to ruling Asia seemed to run through this puzzle. First, I am destined to rule Asia. Second, to rule Asia, I must untie this knot conventionally. The potential for failure created immense psychological pressure. His solution was a stroke of genius: redefine the problem. I am a conqueror remained non-negotiable. The conflicting thought, I must follow the rules, had to go. Alexander drew his sword and sliced the knot in half. He didn't fail the test. He proved the test irrelevant. His action declared, "My destiny is not bound by petty rules." It's a powerful example of changing beliefs, or changing the world. Sometimes we choose to draw our sword. By changing the rules, cutting the knot matched his belief. I am the destined ruler of Asia. Let's fast forward to the 20th century, to the very study that helped Leon Festinger cement his theory. In 1954, a Chicago housewife named Dorothy Martin claimed to be receiving messages from extraterrestrial beings from a planet called Clarion. A great flood would destroy the world on December 21st, 1954. She and her followers, the Seekers, believed a saucer would rescue them. They quit their jobs, sold their homes, gave away their money. If you truly believe the world ends tomorrow, that's logical. Festinger and colleagues infiltrated the group to see what would happen when the prophecy failed. The stage was set for a monumental collision between belief and reality. Midnight came and went. No flying saucer, no flood. The world was very much not ending. They faced two crushing cognitions. First, we sacrificed everything for our belief. Second, the prophecy was wrong. Admitting it would shatter their world. Instead, Dorothy Martin received another message. The aliens spared the planet because of the group's faith and devotion. Belief wasn't wrong. It was heroic. They became evangelists, doubling down. So why should we care about this mental static? Why does cognitive dissonance matter in the grand scheme of things? It matters because it is one of the most powerful, yet invisible forces shaping your life and our society. It's like a hidden gravitational pull that dictates the orbits of our decisions. Understanding it is crucial for personal growth, critical thinking, navigating a complex world. When you don't recognize the pull of dissonance, you become a puppet to it. You might defend a bad decision simply because you made it, not because it's right. Consider your loyalty to a brand, smartphone, car, computer. After you spend a lot on a product, you're heavily invested. Read a review detailing flaws. You feel dissonance. I am a smart shopper versus my expensive gadget has problems. It's easier to dismiss the review or focus on the good than admit you might have been wrong. Identify with a group. Evidence contradicts the narrative. The dissonance is intense. Many discredit sources, rationalize, and build echo chambers where conflict is rejected. Ultimately, your perception of reality is at stake. Ignoring cognitive dissonance is like flying a starship through an asteroid field. With your eyes closed, you might get lucky for a while, but eventually you're going to collide with something. The primary danger is that it makes you resistant to truth. Change beliefs to fit actions often enough, and you drift away from reality. A small lie justified makes the next bigger lie easier. A small unethical choice rationalized paves the way for a major breach. It can devastate your personal life. They're just stressed. Maybe I'm too sensitive. This is just how relationships are. A bearable story and a psychological trap. Years and money in a failing venture. I am smart versus this is failing, so you double down. A psychological decision, not a rational one. The greatest risk is stagnation of your mind. Growth means confronting being wrong and updating beliefs with evidence. If you shoot the messenger or invent sour grapes, you won't evolve. You'll orbit while opportunity expands without you. So, what do? We're all wired for this. We can't just flip a switch and turn off cognitive dissonance, but we can become better navigators. The first step is awareness of the feeling, that mental itch when your beliefs are challenged. Don't immediately push it away. Treat it like an alert from your own mind. Hey, there's a conflict here worth examining. Get curious. Be a scientist of your own mind. Ask, what are the two conflicting things I'm holding right now? I believe in being financially responsible, and I just spent too much on something I don't need. Seeing it in black and white creates space before automatic rationalization. Next, consciously explore different ways to resolve the dissonance. Sure, you can say, I deserve a treat, or return the item, or modify your belief, build a budget that includes room for splurges, or make a plan, I made a mistake, and I'll set up a system to prevent it. This puts you back in the captain's chair. My friends, the universe is vast and full of wonders, but the universe inside your own head is just as complex and fascinating. Learning to navigate your own cognitive dissonance is like learning to use a telescope. It brings clarity. It's not about being perfect, it's about being honest.